Hey everyone, in today's video I'll be giving a quick explanation as to why I made the switch from primarily using VR to triple monitors for sim racing. Before we get started, please note that I made a separate, more in-depth video comparing the two, so definitely check that out if you're deciding on which one to choose. The purpose of this video is just to give you a quick explanation as to why I made the switch and bring some attention to some often overlooked factors. So let's get started. The main reason I made the switch was simply due to the strain the VR headset had on me. In terms of strain, I'm not talking about weight of the headset. When properly strapped on, it feels comfortable and I barely notice it due to how concentrated I am whilst in game. I'm talking about the strain on my eyes and frankly my brain. After sessions longer than even half an hour, I already felt exhausted and my eyes could really use a break. So long races, those more than 30 minutes, were mentally hard to complete and my eyes were definitely exhausted. You have to keep in mind that I'm talking about sim racing. When you're in a race, you're concentrated most of the time and focusing on every little movement happening, so without a doubt this contributes to the fatigue. When playing non-sim racing VR games, I can easily go about an hour without much difficulty. It's when racing that this becomes a serious problem. Another reason I made the switch was due to the limitations of a VR headset. Whilst there are many great games with VR compatibility, there are also a bunch that don't. However, this is a bigger deal to some than it is to others depending on what games you primarily play. Also, some games just don't look good in VR. For example, I remember Dirt Rally 2 not looking the best in VR, but who knows, maybe some things have changed. Continuing with the topic of limitations, something which I've never heard anyone else mention is that when you're in VR, you can't respond to messages in-game. For example, after a race, when everyone is congratulating each other, you can't respond. Also, if you get punted at turn 1 on MOZA, you can't go and chat and rage. Just not the way my setup was laid out at least, so that was another factor for me. I personally like creating content here on YouTube and on other platforms, and it's extremely hard to do so if you have a VR headset. From figuring out how you're going to capture footage to getting different types of shots whilst in game, it all becomes extremely tricky to do. Another thing to consider is motion sickness. Personally, this has never affected me at all. I played racing games on VR and never felt dizzy or sick once, but with that being said, many guests that have tried out racing titles with my headset couldn't last more than a few minutes without feeling like they were about to throw up. Again, although this did not impact me, it was something that I definitely took into consideration. Frankly, playing on monitors is just a lot more convenient for me. I love being able to see my wheel and shifter, pick up my phone whenever I want, and just casually play and drive around without needing to focus all of my attention on the game. Overall, I would argue that monitors are just more convenient. My Vive Pro required me to plug in 2 base stations, turn on its hub, strap everything on my head, all this whenever I just wanted to play. And while this only took a few minutes to set up, it definitely becomes annoying after a while. With my current monitor setup, I turn on my PC, sit down, and I'm good to go. Looking back at everything I've said, I made it seem like VR for sim racing is this terrible thing, and let me just make it clear that it's definitely not. VR has some incredible things going for it that monitors just don't. If you're interested in this topic, I encourage you to check out my previous video where I talked about and compared the two. I made this video to honestly just share the reasons I made the switch, and those were them. As always, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm just really curious to know. With all that being said, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.